Drunk, I saw an advertisement on a bus stop sign featuring my crush, so I threw myself at it, hugging the bus stop sign and calling it husband. More and more people gathered around. Will he suffocate in there? As I spoke, I reached out to scrape at the glass, crying as I did so. Why can't I scrape my husband out? The next day, my video went viral, and fans tagged my crush left and right. My crush responded, "Hello. My wife whom I've never met." I went viral last night. The company held a dinner to celebrate my promotion. The atmosphere was too lively, so I had a few extra drinks since my home is very close to the gathering place, only 2 stops away, so I politely declined my colleague's offer to take me home and decided to walk back on my own. Unexpectedly, I started feeling dizzy just a few steps into the walk, passing by a bus stop. In a daze, I saw my crush Jiangyu. He was smiling at me and waving. I stopped and tilted my head to look at him. He's so handsome, the best looking in the world when he smiles. In a moment of impulse, I stumbled and lunged toward him. What happened afterward, I don't remember. To be honest, I don't want to remember the aftermath of this incident either, but the overwhelming flood of videos the next day forced me to revisit that memory. In the video, I clung to the billboard and wouldn't let go, calling out husband over and over, drawing a crowd of onlookers. I reached out to scrape at the glass. Will my husband suffocate in there? Seeing that I couldn't scrape it open, I burst into tears in frustration. Why can't I scrape my husband out? Stop filming. Come and save my husband. Countless bullet comments floated across the video. Did this girl drink fake alcohol? She's so hyped up. Ha 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 ha. Every time I scroll past Jiangyu, I also wish I could pluck him right out of my phone. Your husband is all over the country. Even the elevator ads in my building feature him. I put down my phone and closed my eyes, lost in thought. Today is not a good day to go out or to go to work, but taking a leave on the first day of a promotion doesn't seem quite appropriate. I irritably scratched my head and resignedly got out of bed. When I arrived at the company, everyone gathered around. Manager Yu, what a coincidence. Our husbands are the same person. I never thought someone as work-obsessed as Sister Yu would also be a fan. Honestly, Jiang Yu is really handsome, hitting every single point of my aesthetic perfectly. Yeah. He's so good-looking. I heard he's coming to our city next week to promote his new drama. Have you all seen the trailer? As they chatted, the focus of everyone's conversation gradually shifted to Jiang Yu. I secretly breathed a sigh of relief and began to tackle the work at hand. A sharp scream pierced my eardrums. Sister Yu, Jiang Yu has responded. As she spoke, assistant Jiao Jiao handed me her phone. Originally in the video comments section, fans kept tagging Jiang Yu. Jiang Yu posted a response on Weibo. Hello, my wife whom I've never met. At that moment, the boss came in and placed a stack of documents on my desk. Niece-in-law, come to my office in half an hour for a brief meeting. Wait, Mr. Jiang, I called out to the boss. What niece-in-law? He pointed at the giant advertisement of Jiang Yu on the commercial building opposite. Him, my nephew. I forced a dry laugh. This lie was so poorly crafted. Even drawing a pie in the sky would sound more convincing. Before noon, my Weibo account had already been dug up. Some suspected I was just stirring up hype. In no time, fans flooded my Weibo, bombarding me with criticism. By evening, a male blogger even went live to criticize me. I'm telling you, it's all planned. This is just her first step. Next, she'll be selling her persona. But the academic genius image can't withstand scrutiny. She's pretty, the blogger scoffed dismissively. How can anyone still believe photos on the internet? If she really looked like that, why would she still be working? Wouldn't some sugar daddy have snatched her up? I couldn't help but reply, oh, right. You sound so experienced. You must have a sugar daddy yourself. Then, seeing me jump into the fray, the onlookers went wild in the comments, tagging Jiang Yu left and right. Jiang Yu, come quick, your wife you've never met is in trouble. The blogger rolled her eyes at the camera. I don't have a sugar daddy. I continued to reply, no way, you actually don't have a sugar daddy. Is it because you're ugly? The blogger's face instantly changed. Who are you mocking here? Oh, getting impatient already. Were you hiding when they were promoting quality education? The blogger feigned composure and began to change the subject. You read so many books, yet all you want is to find a rich man. I replied, then is your lack of sophistication because you've read too few books? Without waiting for him to speak, I continued typing, sending out my messages one by one. You must have had a really tough time growing up, huh? After all, your brain never really developed. You should go back and start over. Next time, maybe don't choose to be human again. Pork prices have gone up recently. Do you think that makes you worth something? putting on airs like this. The streamer clearly couldn't keep up with my typing speed, and the tone in the comments section gradually shifted. This sister is too skilled, she should start teaching classes. That's some harsh criticism, ha 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 ha. If you know how to criticize, keep it coming, we love hearing it. Seeing the situation was out of control, the streamer chose to end the broadcast directly. I snorted inwardly, thinking of spreading rumors about me. It's like putting feathers on a bat. What kind of bird does he think he is too? I never expected that I would become famous overnight for standing up to someone. After all, this unique skill usually has no opportunity to be put into practice. It's just the most inconspicuous among my many strengths. Netizens began digging into me, tracing my life from elementary school all the way through my college graduation. New trending topics about me kept popping up online. Hashtag yu xiaoxiao claps back, hashtag yu xiaoxiao's junior high school graduation photo, hashtag yu xiaoxiao's college entrance exam results, hashtag. That evening, just as I finished dinner and was about to start working overtime, my private messages exploded again. Netizens eagerly called out to me, "That streamer has challenged you." Some people even directly sent links, urging me to quickly go and take on the challenge. I clicked on the link, and the number of online viewers had actually reached over 3 million, and the number was still climbing. This time, he clearly came prepared, having hired many paid commenters. He says one thing, and the comment section is flooded with likes. Yu Xiaoxiao was really ugly in junior high school, dark, chubby, and covered in acne. I got a solo photo of her from high school today. As he spoke, he scrolled through his phone's photo album, then pointed the screen at the camera. "See, so ugly." Then with a look of disdain, "I thought she was naturally beautiful, but it turns out she's a man-made beauty, and back in her first year of high school, her grades weren't great either. She was at the bottom of the class. Who knows if her college entrance exam results are even real." Hearing this, I couldn't help but comment, "Are you questioning the authority of the college entrance exam?" Seeing this, the blogger quickly denied. "Yu Xiaoxiao, I never said anything like that." Suddenly, he changed the subject. "You've had work done on your face, you can't deny that, can you?" I replied, "I did have my double eyelids done, and my nose was slightly adjusted as well." Trolls followed up with comments, "Ugly woman, get lost." But there were also onlookers who exclaimed, "Such great aesthetic sense. It looks so natural. Could you recommend the doctor? I want to know your whitening secrets. Could you elaborate on weight loss, sis? You actually got a perfect score in the college entrance exam for math. Could you share how you made such a comeback? My goal is also to get into a 985 university. Sis, can you start a live stream?" In an instant, the comments section erupted with follow-ups. "Sis, go live. I have enough data. Spill the details." Seeing this, the blogger quickly took control of the situation. "Did she do well on the college entrance exam? How come she didn't get into Tsinghua or Peking University? Only math was perfect. Why weren't the other subjects full marks?" Bystanders chose to ignore, gradually drowning out the troll comments completely. My greatest strength is that I can't bear to see others disappointed, so I clicked on the live stream. In an instant, everyone flooded into the live stream. I look at the comments in the comment section. Let me start by talking about weight loss. First, the weight loss journey must be extended over time. It's important to understand that this is a long-term process. Comments flooded in. I'm taking notes right away. This sister is reliable. She's really teaching us. The next day, I was working overtime at the company. After finishing work, I walked out of the building and stood at the bus stop waiting for the bus. Suddenly, a heavy rain started pouring down, and I couldn't avoid it in time, getting completely soaked. "Yu Xiaoxiao," it was my boss calling me. I looked up and saw Mr. Zhang's car parked across the street, his hand reaching out the window. "Come over here, I'll give you a ride back." I nodded, lifted my bag over my head, dashed across to the opposite side, pulled open the passenger door, and got in. "Is this Yu Xiaoxiao?" I was startled. There was someone in the back seat. Anyone who could have the boss as their driver must not be an ordinary person, so I turned to look at the back seat, putting on a professional smile. "Yes, that's me. There's an uncle sitting in the back row. The lighting is a bit dim, so I can't see his expression clearly, but I can sense that he's a very refined uncle." "Do you like Jiang Yu?" I nod. "I absolutely adore him." He smiled gently. "What do you like about him?" Without a second thought, I replied, "He's the most handsome person in the world." Hearing this, he nudged the person next to him. "Did you hear that? This girl really likes you." My back stiffened as I looked at the person beside the man. He was wearing a hoodie, a white baseball cap, and a black mask, keeping his eyes closed the whole way to rest, so I didn't notice him at that moment. He opened his eyes and our gazes met those eyes. Who else could it be but Jiangyu? 3. What's going on? Is Jiangyu really his nephew? At this moment, my mind went completely blank, and I mechanically turned to look at the boss. Seeing me stunned, the boss grinned. The person next to Jiangyu is his father, also my older brother. He gestured toward Jiangyu with his chin, signaling me to praise him. I'm going crazy inside. I curse his uncle. You have to pick the right moment to give an assist. What's the difference between me now and a Samoyed that stepped in a puddle? Thinking of this, I quickly pulled out a small mirror from my bag, crouched in the corner of the seat, and prepared to touch up my makeup. The moment I opened the mirror, I secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, my makeup didn't smudge, just my bangs got flattened. Seeing that I remained silent, the boss looked at me with a hint of disappointment, as if frustrated that I wasn't living up to his expectations, and quickly launched a second wave of support. Brother, Xiaoxiao is a great kid, sharp-minded, reliable, and efficient. His voice suddenly rose an octave. Last year's Shanghai deal was signed by Xiaoxiao. Hearing this, the uncle in the back row became interested. Oh, and the acquisition case of Chaoxing was also facilitated by her. I looked at the boss again, feeling for the first time that he was amiable and kind, although he usually loves to make empty promises and is quite stingy. But at this moment, his image in my mind instantly grew taller. Next time when we complain about him in the company's small group chat, I'll go easy on him and tone down the criticism. The uncle in the back row asked, Xiaoxiao probably hasn't had dinner yet, right? Would you mind joining us for a meal? I turned to look at the back row, where Jiangyu was still resting. With his eyes closed, he didn't refuse, so that means he agreed. I forced myself to suppress the excitement in my heart, steadied my mind, and nodded firmly toward the uncle in the back row. When we arrived at the restaurant, the boss said that Jiangyu and I should go up first, as they had something to discuss in the car. I followed Jiangyu into the elevator. He looked at me, as if wanting to say something but holding back. On the surface, I remained calm and composed, but inside, I was like a monkey, jumping up and down with anxiety. When we reached the door of the private room, Jiangyu suddenly stopped before pushing it open. He looked at me and hesitantly asked, "Have you been having bad luck lately?" Without a second thought, I said, "How could that be? If my luck were bad, would I be standing here with you? Not to mention anything else, just the boost in my love life is a huge buff." He pointed at my forehead and said, "Your forehead looks dark." Fuck, how could I forget? I applied hairline powder this morning. Standing in front of the bathroom mirror, I cried so loudly the light in the car was too dim, and I didn't notice that the hairline powder had gotten wet in the rain, staining my entire forehead. Indeed, extreme joy begets sorrow. Just as I finished touching up my makeup and walked to the door of the private room, my phone vibrated. I clicked on it. It was a Weibo link sent by Jiao Jiao. The content was about a major IP adaptation film that had just been officially announced, with Jiangyu as the male lead. In the comments, fans of another top male star were completely losing it, insisting that Jiangyu had snatched their idol's opportunity. Jiangyu's fans replied, "We won't say a word until Sister Xiaoxiao arrives." I put my phone back in my bag. No rush, I'll sort it out a bit when I get home. I reached out to push open the private room door and instantly froze in place. Everyone looked up at me, their eyes filled with surprise, but even more with confusion, seeing me standing at the door. Jiang Yu's father waved to me and pointed to the empty seat next to Jiangyu. "Xiaoxiao, today is the Jiang family's banquet, so don't be reserved." Who would have thought that at my first meal, I would meet the entire Jiang family? For I braced myself and walked into the private room, nodding and smiling at everyone before sitting down next to Jiangyu. The moment I sat down, I was holding my breath. Jiangyu looked at me. "What would you like to drink?" I looked up and saw Jiangyu's dazzlingly handsome face, my words stumbling. "And anything is fine." He thought for a moment. "Given the occasion today, you probably shouldn't drink." So he called the waiter and ordered a bottle of juice, handing it to me. I was just about to open my mouth to explain, to tell him that I don't usually drink like that. The words reached my lips but were swallowed back. Only then did my mind finally catch up, realizing that the husband I had been shouting at the billboard was now sitting right beside me. Suddenly, my heart started racing, and I nervously picked up the juice to take a sip. My eyes drifted toward Jiangyu beside me. He was quietly listening to the elders' conversation, his expression calm and composed. Jiangyu never participates in variety shows and never gets paired up with anyone as a CP apart from filming. He only meets the public during promotional periods for his work. I always felt he was far away from me, but now, He was actually sitting right next to me. Perhaps Jiangyu noticed a burning gaze fixed on him, so he turned to look at me and asked, "What's wrong?" I couldn't help but say, "I never thought I'd have a day like this." At this moment, our family's ancestral graves are probably already billowing with thick green smoke. Jiangyu has always had a good temper since he was young. He won't mind. I followed the voice and saw that the speaker was an uncle sitting next to Jiangyu's father. He squinted his eyes and looked at Jiangyu. Jiangyu, isn't that right? Jiangyu remained calm and composed. It's fine, you see. I always said that Jiangyu is a generous child, ever since he was little. The girl to my right muttered under her breath, shameless. I leaned my head closer to her. What's going on? I had been completely lost in Jiangyu's stunning appearance. Not hearing a single word of the conversation at the dinner table, the girl leaned in close to me, roughly explaining what had happened, and kindly helped me sort out the relationships among the people in the private room. The one who had just spoken was Jiangyu's paternal uncle. Their entire family had gone to Jiangyu's house as guests today. His grandson had sneaked into Jiangyu's room and completely wrecked all the figurines Jiangyu had collected. The girl gave me a look, gesturing toward the opposite side. Xiao, it's him. I looked across. He wasn't very old, probably around 5 or 6 years old. Seeing me look at him, he started cursing and baring his teeth at me. I turned my gaze back to the girl. Do you know me? She nodded. My name is Jiang Qingyue, and my father is Jiang Gaoming. Oh, so she's the daughter of my stingy boss. I got up and went to the restroom. When I came out, a child jumped out and sprayed water at me, and I raised my hand to block it. Were you just talking about me behind my back? I only recognized him by his voice. He was the grandson of Uncle Jiangyu. I raised my arm and sniffed the liquid on it. It was cola. He actually filled the water gun with cola. How could that be? You're so lively, and I love lively and active children the most. I walked up and held his arm, my face full of sincerity. Jiang Qingyue praised you to me, saying you have a real talent for drawing. He looked at me with a mix of belief and doubt. I spun around in place. Look, my white dress has a few water stains from your water gun. Doesn't it have a certain artistic feel? Seeing that he still wasn't speaking, a trace of regret flickered across my face. It's a shame my sister's skirt is too small, limiting your performance. As I spoke, I glanced at the massive shoe embroidery 1,000 li of rivers and mountains hanging in the hall. If the canvas were a bit larger, you could definitely showcase your talent. I smiled at him and patted his shoulder. You have to believe in yourself. 5. Returning to the private room and about to sit down, Jiang Qingyue looked at me, froze for a second, then exclaimed in surprise, "What happened to your skirt?" I pretended to be casual as I spread out the hem of my skirt. "Oh, it's just a child being mischievous." As I spoke, I glanced up at Jiangyu's uncle. In an instant, everyone knew who the culprit was. The child's mother couldn't hide her embarrassment at this moment. "It's just a dress, isn't it? It's not like our family can't afford to pay for it." Upon hearing this, I quickly walked up to her, opened Taobao, and showed her the purchase record on my phone. "This dress costs 3,200 yuan, would you prefer to pay via WeChat or Alipay?" Clearly, she didn't expect me to be so blunt. Hesitantly opening Alipay, gritting her teeth, she whispered, "A dress this expensive? Young girls these days sure have it easy making money." With a look of shock, I covered my mouth and exclaimed, "The moment I walked in, I could tell you must come from a wealthy family. Just look at your whole outfit, so elegant and imposing." At this point, I paused briefly, sounding slightly regretful. I never thought I'd misjudge you and hear such uncultured words. Her face flushed red with suppressed emotion. The words on the tip of her tongue were swallowed back down. I had just taken a few bites of food when suddenly, from outside the door, came the piercing screams of a child throwing a tantrum. This sound was all too familiar to everyone. Jiangyu's uncle was the first to rush out of the private room, with everyone else following closely behind. I leisurely wiped my mouth, turning to Jiangyu beside me with a smile. "You'd better not go out. There are too many people outside. You might be recognized." Before long, everyone gradually returns to the private room. Everyone's expressions vary. The boss looks cheerful, his lips twitching, as if he can barely hold back his laughter. Jiangyu's father looked calm, and nothing seemed off about him. The last to arrive were Jiangyu's uncle and his family. The child was crying loudly, even louder than when I discovered my hairline powder had faded. Jiang Qingyue quickly leaned in close to me and whispered that the little brat had used a water gun to spray cola onto the 8,000 li of rivers and mountains painting. When the hotel staff discovered this, they quickly intervened. During the struggle, the child pushed the waiter away, spat at him, and cursed. A passing guest couldn't hold back and remarked that the child lacked proper upbringing. In response, the child picked up a jade ruby from the display stand in the center of the lobby and struck the guest on the head. Then, the child threw themselves to the ground, throwing a tantrum and screaming, plunging the scene into chaos. Hearing this, I secretly took a sharp breath. This kid is truly gifted, with destructive power off the charts. Not long after, the hotel manager came in to discuss the compensation plan. From what the manager said, the injured guest is also a prominent figure, and besides the medical expenses, they are demanding a public apology from the parents. That shoe embroidery is a work by Master Meng, valued at 3 million, and the jade ruby the child smashed is estimated to be worth 1 million. The mother exploded. What kind of lousy shoe embroidery is so expensive, and that jade ruby, you just named the price. At that moment, the child looked at me, pointed, and said, "She told me to spray it." As soon as the words fell, the mother lunged at me with a ferocious glare, gritting her teeth. "I'll tear you apart today." Jiangyu stood up, pulled me behind him, and reached out to block her. Seeing Jiangyu's unfriendly expression, she stood still for a moment. Not daring to reach out and pull me again, I grabbed the hem of Jiangyu's clothes, poked my head out to look at her, pitiful and aggrieved. I only praised him for his talent in drawing. I didn't say anything else. Jiangyu's father spoke up. "Jiangyu, take Xiaoxiao home first." After speaking, Jiangyu's father looked at me again, his face full of kindness. "Xiaoxiao, today's meal was a bit chaotic. Let's get together another day." I obediently nodded and followed behind Jiangyu, heading toward the door. Before leaving, I turned back to look at the child's mother, who doesn't spend money raising a child, compared to a child's talent. What does this compensation amount to? Before I could finish speaking, Jiangyu reached out and pulled me out of the private room. Closing the door behind us, he pulled his hat down low and put his mask back on. "Don't mess around. Isn't it chaotic enough already?" His tone was light, even carrying a hint of delight. He took off his hoodie and handed it to me. "Cover your skirt with this." I pushed the hoodie back toward him. "You should put it on. It's cold outside." From the private room came the sound of the mother scolding and hitting her child. "You have no damn talent for drawing. I told you not to cause trouble. I told you not to smash things. Just smash me to death then." Followed by the child's heart-wrenching cries and screams. Jiangyu and I exchanged a glance, and he said, "You really do settle scores on the spot. I wouldn't go that far over a dress. He destroyed your figurine, and that's what I'm angry about." He clearly hadn't anticipated this response. I continued, "For years ago, you posted a photo on social media. I looked up all the figurines in that picture, and even back then, their total value was over 2 million. Some of them are one of a kind, right?" He smiled. "Have you liked me for a long time?" I nodded. "I've liked him for almost 6 years." 6. As the car passed an intersection, I quickly asked Jiangyu to pull over. "Wait for me a moment." After saying that, I opened the door and got out of the car. 10 minutes later, I got into the car with the takeout box. "I didn't eat enough. This rice noodle place is really good." As he started the car, he casually remarked, "Why did you only buy one serving?" I froze and quickly asked, "You want some too?" Seeing him silent, I continued to ask, "How about I go down and buy you another one?" "Forget it." I held the meal box, the aroma of rice noodles spreading through the car. "How about you come to my place later? You can have the rice noodles, and I'll just cook some noodles for myself." He replied with a single, indifferent word, "Okay." Once home, I opened the door and let him in. "This is the apartment I rent, which is very close to the company. It's a small 2-bedroom unit, and I've converted the second bedroom into a study." I poured the rice noodles into a bowl and placed it on the dining table. "You eat first." After saying that, I went into the kitchen to cook myself a bowl of noodles, brought it out, and sat down across from him. He looked at my noodles. "Yours look tastier." I put down my chopsticks and pushed my bowl over. "Let's swap." After saying that, I brought his bowl in front of me and suddenly realized I had already taken 2 bites from it. Just as I was about to remind him, I noticed he didn't seem to mind and had already picked up his chopsticks to start eating. After eating the noodles, I went to the kitchen to clean up, and when I came out, I didn't see him. Has he already left? So I walked into the study, turned on the computer, and checked my work emails. After replying to the emails, I tilted my head back to stretch my neck, took out my phone, opened Weibo, and my private messages had exploded again. Xiaoyingzhen's fans firmly believe that Jiangyu snatched their idol's resources. Some fans spoke directly to the camera, demanding that the film team give them an explanation. In the comment section of Jianyu's Weibo, fans from both sides were engaged in a heated argument. I glanced at the evidence provided by Xiaoyingzhen's fans, a screenshot of a chat from a fan group. The date shows as this July. Xiaoyingzhen told his fans that he was in talks for the male lead role in a major IP, and it was almost finalized. A fan asked if it was Lonely City Sunset. Xiaoyingzhen did not respond, only posting a "you know what I mean" meme. Seeing this, I chuckled inwardly and immediately shared a screenshot. It was a casual photo Jiangyu posted on social media in May. In the photo, I had marked a corner of the bookshelf behind Jiangyu as a key area. The caption read, "If I post this photo, how would you explain it?" For a moment, Jiangyu's fans forwarded and commented one after another. As expected, once Sister Xiaoxiao takes action, she can directly crush the opponent. "Boss, from now on we'll all follow you." In the screenshot I posted, there is a thick booklet marked in that corner above. Several large characters were clearly written, "Lonely City Sunset." Script. Xiaoyingzhen's fans shifted their target of attack to me, wildly stirring up drama under my Weibo posts. "Maybe Jiangyu got the male supporting role script, while our brother got the male lead." I found typing too slow, so I directly used voice input to convert speech into text and sent it out. "Shake your brain cells before you speak. Jiangyu as Xiaoyingzhen's supporting role. Is he even worthy? If Xiaoyingzhen dares to respond directly, I'd respect him as a man. Using you as cannon fodder to forcibly ride on my idol's popularity. In terms of looks, acting skills, or star status, what does he have that compares to my husband?" Xiaoyingzhen's fans started flooding the comments. "You Xiaoxiao, don't get too proud. One day, we'll meet at the top." I continued my verbal assault. "Meet at the top? Your side won't even make it to the top." That comment completely broke the other side, and they began spamming the screen. "You Xiaoxiao, get lost." I continued to respond. "So arrogant, I've had my rabies shots. You think I'm afraid of you? Did you not finish 9 years of compulsory education? Your words are so low class." A girl replied, "You're the one who didn't finish. I'm taking the college entrance exam next year." "You big idiot." I chuckled. "Well then, I wish you better and better exam results every year." After saying that, I stood up, ready to pour some water to drink. Looking up, I saw Jiangyu standing at the door, arms crossed, leaning against the wall and watching me. "Why haven't you left yet?" he pointed outside. "Can't leave." 7. I rushed to the balcony and looked down. Sure enough, Jiangyu's car was too eye-catching, with several young people leaning against it taking photos. If Jiangyu approached the car now, he would definitely be recognized. I turned back to look at him. "Wait until they're done taking photos before leaving." He nodded and walked over to sit on the sofa. "You don't need to pay attention to those comments online. I don't care about them." I took a sip of water. "Jiang. I only have 2 hobbies. I love making money, and I love you." He froze. Clearly, he still wasn't used to my way of confessing, anytime, anywhere. As casually as if I were talking about a meal, I waved my hand. "I don't expect everyone to like you, but I absolutely won't allow anyone to slander you." The living room was dark. He turned his head, his face completely hidden in the shadows, and I couldn't see his expression. The air suddenly fell silent. I turned and walked into the room. "I'm going to bed first. I have work tomorrow and need to get up early." I lay in bed, tossing and turning, unable to fall asleep. I reached for my phone by the bed and saw that it was already 1 in the morning. He must have left by now. I turned over and closed my eyes to continue sleeping. A few minutes later, I opened my eyes and sat up. I tiptoed to the door, opened it, and glanced into the living room. He lay on the sofa and fell asleep. The sofa was rather short, so his long legs were curled up. I tiptoed softly to his side and crouched down. Using the faint light coming in from the balcony, I rested my head on my knees and watched him. I couldn't help but whisper softly, "I really want to give you a kiss." Unable to resist, I slowly leaned closer to his lips. Suddenly realizing how dangerous this thought was, I quickly straightened up and put some distance between us. No, I can't take advantage of my husband. What difference is there between me and those obsessive fans? I got up, tiptoed back to the room, and gently closed the door. Early the next morning, I rushed out of the room to find the living room empty. I walked to the balcony and looked down. Jiangyu's car had already driven away. Arriving at the office, I received a WeChat friend request from Jiang Qingyue. The moment I accepted the friend request, Jiang Qingyue immediately called me on voice chat. As soon as I answered, she started talking non-stop, firing off a rapid series of messages. She said that last night Jiang Yu's uncle's family negotiated with the hotel and agreed to pay 2.6 million in compensation, which could be paid in installments, and he apologized to the customer who was hit right in front of everyone. In the end, that customer only let it go because of Jiang Yu's father's reputation. Finally got some relief. While replying to work messages, I asked, "It seems like you two don't get along very well." Recalling last night, the boss practically had the word schadenfreude written all over his forehead. Jiang Qingyue cleared her throat and began to explain the internal affairs of their Jiang family to me. After her grandfather passed away, her uncle secretly took over the position that her grandfather had intended for Jiang Yu's father. Jiang Yu's father had no choice but to drop out of school, following a distant relative to work in another city, earning money to support the family later. Jiang Yu's father accumulated initial capital, caught a wave of favorable policies, and the company grew bigger and bigger. His uncle ran up to them and said that it was because he had taken over her grandfather's job that Jiang Yu's father had achieved what he had today. Later on, the boss graduated from university and worked hard alongside Jiang Yu's father. After making money, the boss started his own company, which is exactly the one I'm working for now. Every year at the Jiang family banquet, that family sees our business with uncle's family growing bigger and bigger, and they can't help but feel jealous, both openly and secretly. At this point, Jiang Qingyue changed the subject. "Come help me with tutoring this weekend, I'll send you the address. Your dad works me to the bone on weekdays, and now you want to do the same on weekends. No way." Jiang Qingyue lowered her voice. "You'll regret it if you don't come, absolutely regret it." After saying that, she hung up the call and sent me an address. On Saturday morning, I appeared in front of a high-end apartment building. Jiang Qingyue came downstairs to pick me up, and we took the elevator together to the top floor. "May I take a look around?" Jiang Qingyue nodded and went to the bar to pour me some water. This apartment features panoramic floor-to-ceiling windows on two sides, offering a view overlooking the entire city. The abundant natural light makes the black and white furniture appear less stark and cold. I reached out and opened a bedroom door, and what caught my eye was a large bed. Jiang Yu was lying on the bed, still asleep. Sunlight shone on his exposed back, and the lines of his back were quite pleasing to the eye. I gently closed the door and mouthed to Jiang Qingyue, "Why is he here?" 8. It turns out this apartment belongs to Jiang Yu's older brother, Jiang He. He goes abroad for about 2 weeks every 2 to 3 months. When Jiang Yu is on vacation, he occasionally comes to stay for a day or two. He returns to work next Monday, officially entering the promotional period for his new drama, and will be flying all over the country. "Xiao Xiao, can you continue tutoring me next week?" "Sure, if you pay the tutoring fee." She hummed twice, and when she looked behind me, her expression instantly changed. "Brother, you're awake." I turned around and saw Jiang Yu wearing a bathrobe, looking as if he had just finished showering. He nodded at me in greeting, then he turned and walked back to his room, changing into casual clothes. Before coming out, he walked over to the beanbag chair by the floor-to-ceiling window, pressed the curtain button, and picked up a book to read. While I was explaining the problem, I occasionally glanced up at him. He's like a painting. He doesn't need to do anything. Just sitting there quietly is already a feast for the eyes. "Xiao Xiao, look at the problem. You've been staring at my brother for ages." I quickly averted my gaze and grabbed the exercise book. "Let's move on to this problem." Jiang Qingyue shot me a glance. "We just went over that one." I nervously flipped the page. "Oh, I remembered wrong." By noon, Jiang Qingyue suggested ordering takeout. I pulled out my phone. "I'll order. What do you want to eat?" "Egg noodles." Jiang Yu looked at me as he spoke. "The ones you made last time." Jiang Qingyue gave me a knowing look. "Then I'll have the egg noodles too. The ones you made." "Xiao Xiao." I got up and went to the kitchen to check the ingredients. There were eggs, noodles, and seasonings, so I turned on the stove, boiled water, and started cooking the noodles. After the meal, Jiang Yu went into the kitchen to clean up, while Jiang Qingyue and I continued with the tutoring. In the afternoon, the driver came to pick Jiang Qingyue up to go home. Since her place was in the same direction as mine, I got a ride back as well. Before leaving, Jiang Qingyue looked at the two of us and said, "Aren't you going to exchange contact information?" I glanced at Jiang Yu and said, "Well, is that really okay?" Jiang Yu took out his phone and said, "I'll scan you." I quickly took out my phone from my bag, tapped a few times to open the QR code, and handed it to him. My heart is racing, my hands are trembling, I'm screaming internally. Added, I couldn't help but immediately open Jiang Yu's moments. "Why is it blank?" He looked at my phone screen. "This is my private number. I don't usually post on moments." I nodded and solemnly placed the phone back into my bag. "From today, It's no longer just an ordinary phone. Half a month later, Jiang Yu's new drama promotion period came to an end on the day he returned home. The Jiang family invited me over for a meal. Upon entering, I found the boss and Jiang He were also there. Although Jiang He wasn't as dazzlingly handsome as Jiang Yu, he still ranked among the good-looking guys. He was tall and burly, the type of handsome that exudes rugged masculinity. During the meal, he and Jiang Yu happened to sit on either side of me. The Jiang family's meals are quite casual, and everyone is used to chatting while eating. I looked at Jiang He and couldn't help but exclaim, "You're an Ivy League graduate, a six-sided warrior. Do you have no weaknesses at all?" "My love life is a weakness." I winked at him. "No girlfriend?" He gave a faint smile. "No." After the meal, I strolled in the backyard of the Jiang family and looked up to see Jiang Yu standing under a tree with his back to me. As I approached him, I noticed someone chatting on the other side of the fence. "You also think Xiao Xiao is quite good, right? Her future potential is limitless." "It's the boss's voice," he said with a hint of regret. "If only I didn't have just Qingyu as my daughter." Jiang Yu's father sighed. "You know Jiang Yu's personality, he doesn't care about anything. He doesn't like Xiao Xiao." "What about Jiang He? They seem to get along well today." I secretly clicked my tongue in surprise. So this was a blind date setup. Jiang Yu looked at me, his gaze ambiguous and unclear. We stared at each other for 2 seconds, neither of us saying a word. Then he turned and walked away, leaving me standing there in a daze. 9. Jiang Yu has returned to work. I'll be filming on set for the next 4 months. I can't help but send him a lot of messages. Beautiful sunsets, roses on the balcony, cats on the street. I can't resist taking photos and sending them to him. Interesting news, jokes shared among colleagues. I can't help but forward them to him. He doesn't reply much. Sometimes just 2 or 3 sentences a day. "Xiao Xiao, you've changed recently." "Yeah, manager, you have you started dating someone lately?" I waved my hand. "How could that be?" They gathered around. "You haven't been keen on working overtime lately?" I adjusted my facial expression and returned to work mode. "Then after work today, let's have a brief meeting in our department." Instantly, the entire department office erupted in wails and howls. A month later, the boss asked me to go on a business trip out of town. I finished the work that was originally planned for 4 days in just 3. I bought a high-speed train ticket to the city where Jiang Yu was filming. I had planned to just take a distant look, but without a work pass, they wouldn't let me in at all. Just as I was about to leave, a girl called out to me, "You Xiao Xiao." Seeing me turn around, she rushed straight toward me. "Boss, you came to visit the set." I nodded and told her I couldn't get in. Without another word, she dashed inside and borrowed a work pass for me. "I'm teacher Zhang's assistant. You can just call me Xiao Xiao." Jiang Yu and the female lead are filming a scene together. He is very serious when working, constantly communicating with the staff around him. Xiao Xiao went over and whispered a few words beside him. Jiang Yu looked at me and froze for a moment. I waved my hand to greet him. At that moment, the female lead also followed Jiang Yu's gaze toward me. I nodded at her, but she turned her head away expressionlessly. This female lead is named Lan Xinqi, a top-tier actress who has always enjoyed a good reputation among the general public. During a break in the filming, Lan Xinqi walked over and sized me up a few times. People without self-awareness will fall hard. Just then, someone called out to her from not far away. Before leaving, she put on a sweet, harmless expression. The next scene is my kissing scene with Jiang Yu. Jiang Yu walked toward me. "You shouldn't be here. It will affect me." I lowered my head and mumbled oh a couple of times, feeling as if a cut had been made in my heart, aching with a sour kind of pain. "Jiang Yu, you've been filming a lot of night scenes lately. Make sure to get some rest." Then I waved goodbye to him. Just as I turned around, he grabbed my hand. "Xiao Xiao, wait for me outside first." "Okay." At that moment, the crew called out to him, "Teacher Jiang, get ready. It seems the break is over." I pried his hand open. "You should go now." I changed my flight and took a taxi straight to the airport. On the way back, I thought a lot. My current state is not what a fan should be like. I should keep my distance from him, whether it's his work or his life. I shouldn't disturb him. After getting off the plane, I resisted the urge to message him. In the following days, I forced myself to fully immerse in work. I worked overtime until midnight every day, and as soon as I was tired, I would shower and fall asleep immediately. I tried my best not to pay attention to any news about him. A few days later, I received a message from Jiang Yu. This was the first time he had taken the initiative to message me. "How's the weather today?" His message was awkward, as if he rarely initiates conversations with others. I replied, "It's pretty good." After a while, he sent another message. "What are you doing tomorrow?" I simply replied with 2 words, blind date. The day before yesterday was my mom's birthday, and she posted a photo of the 2 of us on her social media unexpectedly. Her classmate's son saw it and said it was love at first sight. I couldn't resist my mom's insistence and agreed to meet him. On Saturday night, seeing that Jiangyu hadn't replied, I guessed he was busy again, so I put down my phone and continued working overtime. 10 on Saturday, I tidied up a bit and walked into the restaurant at the agreed time. The waiter led me to the reserved seat, and my blind date had already arrived. When he saw me, the admiration in his eyes was unmistakable as he stood up to greet me. Hello. I'm the son of your mother's classmate. My name is Huang Jiao. I smiled at him. I'm Yu Xiaoxiao. After saying that, I sat down across from him. Since this is a blind date, I think it's better for us to be honest with each other. Can I ask you a few questions? I nodded. Alright, go ahead and ask. My mom mentioned that you're an only child. I am. That's great. I'm an only child too. I was taken aback. How come I remember my mom telling me that you have 2 older sisters? He smiled. Sisters. Once they're married, they're outsiders. I'm the only son in our family. My face instantly darkened. Before leaving, my mom repeatedly reminded me that I must last at least an hour at this meal, or else I'd be disrespecting her. Her face is more important than anything, especially in front of her classmates. If I don't do it, I'll be nagged about it all year. I checked my phone. There were still 55 minutes left. Xiao, how much is your family planning to contribute for the house? I took a sip of water. 2 million, I'll handle the mortgage for the rest myself. Then our family will contribute 400,000, so we can buy a bigger house later. Is he already dreaming about the future? May I ask about your income situation? I answered patiently, without including bonuses. It's over 20,000 a month, but I've been promoted, so the year-end bonus will be higher. Hearing this, his eyes lit up. That actually suits me quite well. I asked, what about your income? Round it off, it's close to 10,000, what about without rounding off? 6,000. I couldn't hide the shock on my face. Seeing this, he quickly added, my job is very stable, unlike yours, you might lose it any day. I let out a couple of dry laughs in response. The atmosphere was a bit awkward at this moment. He continued, women should focus on taking care of the family, and good job positions should be reserved for men. I checked the time. Sorry, I need to attend to some work. So I took out my laptop and didn't respond to anything he said. This kind of person not only wastes my time but also dances wildly on my bottom line. I don't even have the urge to scold him. What if scolding him makes him smarter and he learns to disguise himself? That would just be a pit of fire. After finishing work, there were still 10 minutes left to make up a full hour, so I took out my phone, ready to scroll through Weibo to kill the remaining time. I was checking my Weibo private messages when I suddenly saw one from Xiao, Jiangyu's assistant. The message was sent on the very day I went to the film set. Xiao Jia, I'm Xiao, teacher Zhang's assistant. Right after the break started, Mr. Jiang kept looking for someone on set. Mr. Jiang was off his game today, constantly NGING takes, which has never happened before. Mr. Jiang kept asking me for his phone, as if he was waiting for a message from someone. Is Mr. Jiang in love? It feels like he might have been dumped. I stared at the private message, my mind blank. Yu Xiao. I snapped back to reality and looked at Huang Jiao. Have you finished your work? I shook my head and took a photo of Huang Jiao to send to my mom. Then I edited 2 words and sent them over. Check in. After sending it, I stood up and said to him, let's end today's blind date here. I have other things to attend to. He tried to persuade me to stay, saying, I think we're quite compatible. I paid directly at the front desk. No need for this meal is on me. After saying that, I didn't look back and drove away directly. 11. Not long after, my mom called. Xiao Huang is quite satisfied with you. It's just that you're too busy. I couldn't help but retort, Mom, he said he's an only child, earns 6,000 a month, and wants me to return to the family. This meal was my treat, so he can't find any fault with it. I also followed your request and lasted a full hour. I complained all the way, driving the car to the parking spot downstairs. Yu Xiao. I froze. Was that Jiang Yu's voice? I turned around and saw the car next to me rolling down its window. He was looking at me. I walked over and slipped into the passenger seat. What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be filming on set? How did your blind date go? I was taken aback for a moment. Why is he suddenly asking about this? Not too bad. At least I won't have to see him again in the future. Why did you suddenly go on a blind date? I sighed. It's my family pushing me, probably thinking I'm not getting any younger. He turned his head away. Do you not like me anymore? How could I not like you? You're my idol. I laughed twice to hide the low spirits I had revealed. But one day, you'll also have a girlfriend, you'll get married, can't that person be you? His voice was so faint that I couldn't detect any emotion in it. It was as if what he had just said was just my imagination. He saw that I wasn't speaking and turned to look at me again. Can't the person I marry be you? I held my head in my hands, my eyes wide open. What did I just hear? I must be dreaming. Mom, a dragon roars within my heart. My crush says he wants to marry me. I am completely unable to pull myself away from the extreme excitement. My whole body frozen, motionless. He thinks I don't believe him, his expression serious and earnest. That night, when you tried to steal a kiss, I was actually awake. I finally regained a bit of clarity. That day, you told me to leave, saying I would affect you. Because the next scene was a kissing scene, having you there would have affected my performance. I had to do over 20 takes for that scene. I couldn't find you, and your phone was off. I felt so awful. He lowered his head. You Xiao. Ever since I met you, I suddenly realized how good it feels to have someone looking out for me. Seeing him like this, I couldn't help but tease him. Actually, I think your brother is pretty great too. He looked up, biting his trembling lip, the corners of his eyes turning red. I quickly tried to soothe him. I was just joking, Jianyu. Don't be like this. I was wrong. I'll feel heartbroken if you're like this. I can't stand seeing you this way. On the 4th day of being in a relationship, my boss kicked me out of the company. What about the N+3 compensation? The boss glared. You're taking over the company now. What more compensation do you want? It was only then that I realized the Jiang family was worried that Jiangyu's non-confrontational personality might lead to him being bullied in the entertainment industry. So, when he debuted, the Jiang family quietly provided him with protection and support. Now this business has been handed over to me by Jiang He. I look at Jianyu. So now, am I using your family's money to invest in your movie, becoming your patron? I roll over twice on the bed. Your brother is truly a business genius, just by casually doing things. He managed to grow the company to this scale. He glances at me. What? Are you getting interested again? I poked my head out from under the covers. What on earth are you talking about? He's an all-rounder, a top graduate from an Ivy League school, no weaknesses at all. His mouth seems to have been blessed with good fortune lately. 12 a year later, I officially took over the Jiang family's film and television business, expanding its reach threefold. Recently, I got my hands on a major IP, Heart, and the male lead role is a perfect fit for Jianyu. However, the female lead remains undecided. I've met with a few, but after the auditions, none were quite ideal. As I was flipping through the actor profiles that had just been recommended, the doorbell rang. I opened the door, and it turned out to be Lan Xinqi. She saw me and froze on the spot. You Xiao, how is it you? Her agent, seeing that we knew each other, immediately pulled her inside. President Yu rarely makes public appearances. I never expected you two to know each other. What a coincidence. As they spoke, they walked over to the sofa and sat down, just in time to see the actor profiles on the table. Director Yu, we'll be troubling you to take good care of our Xiao from now on. I nodded. Of course, after all, Xiao has just signed with our company. Director Yu, Lan Xinqi has just signed on and really needs a representative work to solidify her position. I think Heart would be a perfect fit. I looked at Lan Xinqi. What do you think? Of course, I'm very suitable for the female lead in this drama. I sighed. People who lack self-awareness will fall hard. Her face turned extremely pale. She was about to retort but suddenly remembered she had said those exact words to me before. I looked at her agent. The female lead in this drama has a lot of fight scenes. She's not suitable. After seeing them off, my mom called. She told me that Huang Jiao had been beaten up during the blind date. The woman couldn't hold back her anger, grabbed the teapot from the table, and hit him with it, sending him to the hospital. This is already the 3rd time I've heard that he's been beaten up. On Jianyu's birthday, he publicly announced his relationship on Weibo. It just so happened that I was live streaming at that moment. Over the past year, I've made time to go live almost every month. Jianyu's fans are flocking to my live stream seeking comfort. Boss, Jianyu is taken. How much good karma did this person accumulate in their past life to be able to date Jianyu in this one? She must be a super rich and beautiful girl. I responded. She's just okay. Everyone. I hesitated, then chuckled twice toward the camera. The person he's dating is me. The live stream exploded instantly, with everyone flooding the screen. What kind of plot is this? Are you kidding me? At that moment, Jianyu flashed by in the camera shot. Everyone exclaimed in surprise. You actually managed to extract your husband from the advertisement. Is it still possible for me to do the same now? I smiled and said. It's too late, after all, there's only one Jiangyu for me. After hearing the story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.